She's using that
I
emotion.
didn't think that was her finest moment the other night. I did not think that was her finest moment. As an observer of her, I didn't think it was her finest moment.
She's going a little bit overboard with it. She's saying,
why did you say that?
And I say that because she's claiming that her life was in danger, but yet you turn around and you say, well, hold on a second. Let's actually go look through the facts.
But her
on
life
all
was
this.
in danger. I watched it. I saw it. Her life was in danger, wasn't it?
She may have felt threatened.
You're telling me it's not?
She may have felt threatened.
She was in the Capitol being attacked, and they had the thing.
No, hold on, though.
She was in the Capitol, right?
She wasn't in the Capitol. She wants you to think she was in the Capitol.
Time out.
But we're going to have to fact check this, and that's all I'm doing here. We're fact checking.
What do you mean she was in the Capitol?
She was in the Cannon office building, where if people who don't know the way the Capitol complex is actually laid out, this compound.
Oh, she was not in the Capitol. She was over at Cannon?
She was in Cannon.
Across the street?
Across the street. And yet when she tells the story, at first she said
the
rioters got in.
That means that you were closer than she was.
You and I walking down the street were actually closer.
The war room's closer. No, seriously, did rioters get, this is the first I've heard, did rioters get into the Cannon building?
No. She claimed at first in her story that the rioters breached her office. But then when they pushed back on that and they said, wait a minute, you were in Cannon, and she said, oh, well, actually it was a police officer. But the police officer made me feel so threatened.
Slow down. You're telling me that whole thing the other night, which was, you're on the edge of your seat if you're watching it, right? Because she's going to, and they had the other woman, didn't the other woman come in and defend her, right? Said it happened, right? There was, I think, another person came and said something, but you're on the
way she went to Katie Porter's office. Katie Porter, which is in Longworth.
Yeah, again,
that's in Longworth. That's actually farther,
which is further, right? So she had.
Jack, I think we have the map.
Hold on, hang on. Let's put the map. Let's put the map. But slow down. I just have a question. Did the protesters or rioters or whoever, you had the inner core of the bad guys, then you had everybody else wandering around with things. Did anybody get to Cannon? Because Cannon, for people don't know,
evidence of this.
Cannon, you have the Capitol, and then you have the grounds, and then you have across the street.
She did.
You have.
She said they were in Cannon.
She said they were at her door.
Independence Avenue, and then you have the Cannon office, and the next sort of back is Longworth.
Yeah.
And that's where most of the offices are. She was not in the Capitol.
No, she was not in the Capitol. So. No. I tweeted out an article from Red State, just kind of walking you through all of this stuff. She screenshots that and says that I'm trying to be misleading, that I'm trying to mislead the public about what was really going on, because she knows that I've caught her in something, so she's got to respond as quick as possible.
Why did she say misleading?
Because she knows that I'm poking holes.
I know, but when she said misleading, she had your map, and she said
she didn't have the map.
She said just your what was in the tweet that she's implying is misleading?
That she wasn't in the Capitol.
No, but what she did say to you, Jack, she was like, and by the way, this sort of goes to the very first point you made, which is that she's an ordinary person, a bartender, real life experience. Actually, firstly, we know she's kind of auditioned for this Justice Democrats position, right? That's how they found her. She's not authentic. Cenk Uygur. She's not authentic like that. But park that.
The haters are out.
Park that. Hold on.
The haters are out.
Can I finish?
Okay, go ahead.
Please.
I wish we auditioned that well.
Fine. Make that point. But she auditioned. She's an actress.
She didn't audition. They had interviewed.
It was a casting call.
They did. Yeah. They interviewed people from life. Right. They interviewed people.
Right.
What's the problem with that?
That's not an organic way to find genuine working class people. That's when a working class person goes and says, "I am doing this and I am running." Right? There's a complete difference. Anyway,
it's actually when Lauren Boebert.
Exactly. That's
Lauren Boebert is
Lauren
real.
Boebert did not answer an advertisement in a newspaper. Right?
She has a GED. She is a small business owner. She's a spark plug, an absolute believer in what she stands up for, that she's fighting it. And
are you implying AOC doesn't?
I'm saying that AOC goes out there and embellishes. She embellishes stories the same way that Brian Williams did.
But let's go back to what she responded to you with.
Go ahead.
Right? She responded to you by saying, Jack Prosobiec, you don't understand the way the grounds of the Capitol work, and your map doesn't make reference to the tunnels and the ease of access that there is between the Capitol and the Cannon building.
There is a tunnel.
Of course.
But last time I looked at security down there.
Of course. What a ridiculously elitist thing to say. Firstly, Jack works about 30 seconds.
First of all, I do
there.
work on Capitol Hill, actually.
Secondly, I would hazard a guess that anybody who lives and works works around here, has taken tours of the Capitol building, understands the way it works. We know that there are tunnels.
Well,
I've been in those.
With a congressman
I've
or
walked
senator
through them
walking
myself.
through the
By
tunnels.
the way, the engine room of the war room is not loving my. She's not an actress. I'm getting lit up.
So she tries to pull the "you don't go here" line, right? You're not one of us.
Right,
You're
I'm not
in
one of you.
Congress, and therefore you don't
Can I
understand.
ask a basic question?
That's why this is trending,
wait,
by the way.
wait, hold on.
If she was in canon,
we haven't said what's trending yet.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
go
that's
ahead.
why
So
this
we
is
have to
trending.
get, we have to get to you know, we have to signal not the noise, Steve.
Right.
Signal not the noise, right? What's trending right now after my response to her of posting this map is Alexandria Ocasio Smollet. #1 trend nationwide in Twitter after my response to her is that AOC, we're glad. I thank God. I thank God that nothing happened to you. I hope nothing bad ever happens to you entire life.
Yeah.
But there were no rioters at your door. It was a police officer who was coming to escort you. And then you accused him of threatening you because he was trying to get you to safety in an expeditious manner.
Can I ask a basic question? I think this is going to be very important as we go forward because I think the Cannon Building is pretty far removed across Independence Avenue from the nation's capital, the capital itself. Were there any protesters that got over to the Cannon Building either through the tunnel or just on the surface and went over there? Can we find
when
that
they
out?
went through, and I don't think we have this map, but when they went through, they remember Gizmodo did this. They were pulling up the Parler IP addresses and they were geotagging people and geolocating them as to everywhere they were. And on that map, they were only in front of the main Capitol building itself.
So you're saying by that evidence, and let's take that for what
That signals intelligence.
SIGINT for this for purposes of discussion. Let's say it's accurate. You're saying that there's no evidence that any protester, violent or unviolent, or even some of the tourists are kind of wandering around, right? Just kind of came up from the thing and saw something there, and the cops were showing them, hey, you can go on in. No one went to Cannon.
There's none.
How possibly could she have that dramatic, heart-rendering performance the other night?
Maybe she's an actress.
You know, we all have that one friend in high school that no matter what the story is, they find a way to make it about themselves.
Yep.
But why would her staff allow that to happen? Why would the
staff? That's a good point.
That's a great point.
Because remember, she hasn't quite been as hot on the trigger as she was when that guy was
Saikat Chakrabarty, who was part of the Justice Dems, was working with her when he
couldn't lay a finger on her.
And he was writing a lot of her talking points. We have to say
explain to our audience, I mean, the Justice Dems, and that was the group she talked to because they were looking for a candidate that could take on the establishment. They were kind of the left wing.
You mean almost like auditioning?
Well, hold on. People would argue if we had better auditions or things, if Tea Party groups had done that kind of selection process and gotten those kind of things. I would say
maybe we should.
I would say that is screening. I know you guys, the haters, would say it's auditioning. Okay, we're going to lose half the audience. So that's where I got to have you two guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember, I got to play devil's advocate.
No, look, Chakrabarty was her.
He's a genius.
Yeah, was her genius.
Guy.
You know, was her Steve Bannon, right?
Smart guy.
He was her Steve Bannon, and since he's gone, a lot of her things don't add up. Now, I'll give you this: the 100,000 live views on Instagram every night that she's getting. That's impressive,
and
we absolutely have to. I mean, by the way, Jack himself does the live streams and gets, I mean, not that close, but big numbers. But yeah, we need more people doing that. However, she has kind of lost that untouchability.
She lost her edge.
Yeah.
She lost her edge.
Why do you think?
Well, she got ratio today. That's never happened before. It's never happened.
We're going to explain that all for our audience. We're going to take a short commercial break and return. This is signal, not noise, because this was very important. I hope it does not slow her down in her coming forward to primary Chuck Schumer. Remember, you could be in the United States Senate. Okay, we're going to take a short commercial break. We're going to return in the War Room in a second. Okay, the reason we're pursuing this is normally...
If you'd like to support this channel, won't you consider ordering this free shirt to show your support for the Second Amendment? Just pay shipping and handling. To get your free shirt, simply go to free2a.com. That's free2a.com. Also, for a limited time, we're offering an exclusive online concealed carry training class by former CIA officer Jason Hansen. He's also the author of The Covert Guide to Concealed Carry and Confessions of a Former CIA Officer. He's also a contributing writer to Concealed Carry Magazine and Combat Handguns Magazine, to name just a few. In this exclusive online training course, you'll learn the legal loophole that allows you to conceal carry in 28 states, as well as just about everything you need to know to start carrying concealed, all in the comfort of your own home. To sign up for this exclusive training course, go to carryclass.us. That's carryclass.us.